So today we're going to take a look at a news article from CBS News about why some people choose a life without children. That will be obviously quite difficult for me to imagine, having really wanted children for a long time. But let's take a look. Before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe and click the notification bell to keep updated. Let's take a look.
As the oldest of the baby boomers, including President Trump, turn 80 next year, and the youngest become eligible for Social Security, he is pushing for a second baby boom. With the U.S. birth rate declining, Mr. Trump is considering incentives for having kids, including a $5,000 bonus. But for many young couples, there is no amount of money. Nikki Batiste has tonight's Eye in America from just west of Mar-a-Lago.
You were everything that
Tiana and PJ Morales said their I do's 7 years ago.
I'm super excited to take the next step in our life.
As newlyweds, they traveled the world, and before too long, they say, family would ask if they plan to have children. But the Florida couple says they're not having kids. Not now, not ever.
So the first thing I feel like reacting to is the fact that when anyone gets married, the first thing that families and friends say is, when are you having children? Have you thought about having children? Are you trying yet? And I do think over time it has become, as I've got older, it's become apparent that that's probably not the best question to ask people, because you don't know what their journey is or their story. You don't know if they want children. You don't know if they've struggled, had fertility issues, had miscarriages. So I think that's probably the first thing really that I would highlight from this.
When you have told people you're child-free, what have the reactions been?
Why?
Yeah, I'll get typically a blank stare or, oh, really?
Like pity?
Yeah, pity. Like you don't want a mini you running around?
Tiana, now 37, says when she was younger, she assumed she'd be a mom. But after spending her early 20s as a nanny, caring for 4 kids at once, that assumption changed.
It just dawned on me, is this what I would want to do every single day?
The U.S. Fertility.
I think, again, it's difficult, isn't it? Because before you have children, you have this wonderful visualization of what it's going to be like, and whatever your journey to have those children, it can be very different once they arrive. And obviously this lady has nannied before, so she's been around young children, and so she has probably seen, that element of what being a parent could look like, and changed her opinion over the years, becoming a mum, I suppose. So that's one thing sort of to highlight, that I do think you think that being a parent and having a baby is one thing, but actually it can be very different when they do arrive.
The rate has plummeted in the last 2 decades and now sits near record lows, according to CDC data released last week. Some young adults say high costs are holding them back. Others fear climate change or are putting their careers first. But many say they simply don't want kids.
We are raised to believe that it is our destiny to become parents.
Amy Blackstone and her husband Lance decided years ago to be a family of just 2. Blackstone, a University of Maine sociology professor, has published a number of studies on those who call themselves child-free by choice.
Child-free person will say, I valued my relationship with my partner so much that I didn't want another party changing that relationship. A parent will say, the imagined relationship with a child is so important to me that I want that relationship.
And I think those opinions probably just highlight that, everyone does have different priorities in life. There are people who have wanted to be parents since they were younger, and there are people that don't see that future for them and their partner, and that everybody is different, and it's about respecting those decisions, isn't it? And not judging people. We could have been judged, my husband and I, for investing a lot of money in our fertility journey because we were desperate to be parents. But that doesn't mean we were right or wrong. That's what we wanted for our life. And then other people don't feel the need to have children and don't see their future with them.
Was it financial? Was it not finding the right person, the lifestyle?
When Tiana's friends began having kids, she started organizing occasional get-togethers for others who want to be child-free.
It just seems like every time you turn on the news, something bad's happening, and it's just not the world I'd want to raise a kid in.
I think control climate change. I think everything else is fixable, but that, I'm not so sure.
On a scale of
And that's really interesting to hear some of their reasons for not wanting to bring children into the world. And they are very valid reasons. There's a lot going on politically in the world at the minute. And as they say, climate change, finances are obviously a massive thing when you're thinking about bringing children into the world because they're not cheap. And yeah, those reasons are valid. And I think it's really nice here that they have built a community of people that have all that, like-minded people that don't particularly want to bring children into the world because, as a parent myself, I found it really important to have other parents around me who had children similar ages. So they're, building their own community, which is great.
Scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in your decision?
I'd say 9.5.
What's that half point?
I grew up in a big family and the holidays were always surrounded by a large family. It's fun, and so as I age, what will holidays look like? Will they be just as fun? I don't know.
A choice.
Again, that's a really interesting point that she makes. There is obviously a slight doubt for her as to what the future looks like without children. At the minute, in their present moment, they are happy that they're not having children. But she's obviously considering, what the holidays and family time will look like in the future, which is a difficult one because you don't know what that is going to look like, whether you have children or you don't.
Theirs and only theirs, made with careful thought. For Eye on America, I'm Nikki Batiste in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Study found that over 5 years, the share of childless adults under 50 who don't plan to have kids rose 10 points to 47%. And about that $5,000 baby bonus, estimates of the cost of raising a child to the age of 18 are in the hundreds of thousands.
So just final thoughts on the news article that we just saw. I think for me, I would have given anything to have children. So it's obviously difficult to get in that mindset of people that choose not to, but that doesn't mean that they're right or wrong. And I think we should respect people's opinions. You can see, that there's lots of things going on in the world that might make people feel like it's just not the right thing for them. And the baby bonus that the US are offering to people, I am not sure that it is about the money for some people when they're choosing not to have children. I think there's a whole range of things as to why they are maybe deciding to be childless by choice. And I would also say that, you do see a lot of surrogates that are childless by choice. They don't feel they want their own children, but they would still like to go on to help a family grow a child. So that's another way to sort of look at this potentially. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and ring the notification bell, and I will see you next time.